C10 for sale. I saw this morning on the old marketplace. I'll have to post the post because it's goofy as hell. But the guy only wants $700 for it. But he says the transmortor or something. It says it's supposed to say transmission, but it says trans something. And then it says car builder or something. Carburetor, but it's like carburetor or something. But anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but it was like 15 minutes away, so I'm gonna at least go look at it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film while I'm looking at it, but I'm gonna try. So we're gonna be there in, according to the Google, 3 minutes. So yeah, going to go look at a possible project truck. Let's go. Well, I will implant a picture of that truck into this, but I'm gonna think about it, but it doesn't really tickle my pickle, and it's got a big old, like, it's beyond a dent. It's like kind of right in the cab corner and right in the bed corner, and it could be fixed, but if it had like a real sweet look to it, or it didn't have a bunch of other rust and other spots or something, maybe. But the guy said he thinks transmission's going out, or, you know, it's slipping and sort of being weird and everything. Yeah, and then so it's got the quadra-bog on it, and he said he replaced it, and it made it basically worse. It fired up, but he had to keep his foot on the throttle about halfway to get it to idle, and it wouldn't calm down to idle. But it was an AC truck. It was pretty clean on the inside. I mean, it had rust around the wheel wells and some of the spots that a square body would normally have rust, but there was one big old, just like, it looked like somebody had hit him, or something in the cab corner that I have no interest in fixing. So I think we're gonna pass on it. But I probably could have given the guy, well, he said if you wanted the new carburetor, it was gonna be $900, but then he said he would just take $700 for it. I probably could have I might have been able to give the dude $600 and walked out of there with that truck, but I'm not. I'd rather find something a little bit cooler than a square body. So anyway, I'll put the picture in there, take a gander at it. Back to your regularly scheduled Figure It Out Garage programming. Welcome back to the car. I just got my hair cut with Clifford. He's asleep in the back seat. We're actually on our way up to the north side of town. Somebody's got I think it's a 59 Plymouth Savoy for sale. He keeps lowering the price, so it's getting into the price range of second project for the channel. So I'm gonna go try to check it out. Again, I don't know if I will be able to film it. I don't want to be rude and just jump out the car with a camera in somebody's face. But yeah, we're gonna go check it out. If I do end up being able to get some footage of it, it'll be on here. If not, I will post some pictures of the Facebook Marketplace listing. But yeah, we'll be there in about 30 seconds. So see you in a bit.
It says that top is white and that top is brown. Yeah.
We are at this guy's house. We might buy this car. What do you think about that?
Oh my God.
We're getting it towed, buddy. a tow truck, a big truck is gonna come get that car and take it to our house so Daddy can get it running. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Do you think Daddy can get that car running?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think I can too, bud. But we're gonna go home, we're gonna get something to eat, and then we're gonna meet the tow truck at that guy's house so the tow truck can bring the car to our house, okay? Well, me and little dude are on the way back to finish paying this guy, and the tow truck driver is apparently already there, so that's great. So I was hoping to get some footage of it getting pulled up on the tow truck and hopefully off the tow truck or something and kind of get a gander at it. I think me and little dude are gonna try to maybe pressure wash it off when we get home. So I'm gonna clean out the engine bay, and then I'm gonna work on, tomorrow, we're gonna see if we can get this thing to run. But I would like to be able to pressure wash it tonight, let it kind of dry off. And then we're gonna do a will it run on it. So I don't know if this is gonna be in the future or in the past or what, but hopefully I can get some footage of this thing getting pulled up on the tow truck. If not, we'll see it here in a few minutes. Clifford, what are we doing, buddy?
Going in the pool.
Well, we're gonna get in the pool right after this tow truck drops off this Plymouth, okay, buddy?
You mean while we wait for him?
Yeah, well, he'll be here any minute, and then we can get in the pool after he gets here, okay?
Why, Dad?
Well, we gotta wait for him to get here. Do you see yourself?
Why?
Well, because we gotta wait for him to get here so I can make sure he drops off the car in the right spot. He's coming. We might have to help him too. All right, here he comes.
Okay. I don't see any track, dude.
You don't see anything? Gotta get the truck in here, buddy. Soon, buddy. I gotta help him get this truck off the trailer.
Push it up.
Push it up high.
Push it up hard.
Look, buddy.
Here.
Did that scare you a little bit? Can you hold it up? Good job, buddy.
Look at that.
High five.
Hey.
Hello, YouTube. I'm out here with little dude. He's playing with some rocks. The girls went to Target, but I wanted to go ahead and clean out the engine bay. So this is a 1959 Plymouth Savoy. So it's got, okay, so I cheated a little bit. I know it turns over. The owner actually had a video of it running, but it was like from a couple years ago. It won't start currently, but so the story, okay, so it's got the plate on it is from 2007, so it hasn't been on the road since 2007. But I guess about 3 years ago, the previous owner had purchased it. It was a Father's Day present from his wife. I guess this is like his, or was basically his dream car. So we're gonna do a quick walk around, open up the trunk. I'll show you the engine bay. The interior is absolutely just, it's trash. I mean, to be honest, it needs really, okay, so it needs floor pans, it needs new trunk pan, but the body's pretty straight. I mean, it's got tractor paint on it. It used to be kind of a bluish teal sort of a color, but we'll just sort of do a quick walk around, and then me and little dude, we're gonna pressure wash it, sort of, kind of ish. We're not gonna like put a crazy, we're not gonna try to really clean it. I just want to get some of the funk off of it. Today's Monday. Wednesday we're gonna be doing a we're gonna see if I can get this thing running. I mean, it shouldn't be too much of a thing. I don't know, I'll have to check ignition timing, check engine timing, throw some gas in it, make sure the carburetor is carbureting. So the brakes don't work, and yeah, but so we'll do a quick little walk around, kind of look in the trunk. There's a bunch of extra parts. It's got all of the trim, or at least mostly ish. Should have all of the trim, supposedly has all the trim, but I basically got it for like the price of scrap, and the engine bay looks pretty complete. So all right, we'll jump in the trunk first, show you the inside, and then me and little dude are gonna clean it up a little bit. Hey buddy, you playing with rocks?
Yeah.
All right, so custom trunk opener. So box of extra parts, bunch of screws, differenter screws. These look like A-pillar thingamabobbies. There's a whole set of hubcaps. Here's the breather. She's golden. And then it looks like a bunch of other trim pieces. The trunk, it's doing great. There's literally basically no metal at all. But I'm not that worried about the trunk. But extra parts, I mean, it actually, like, there's one door that I think is just locked, but I can't get it open. But I think it's just locked. But all of the other doors, I mean, look at this. So inner and outer rockers are actually great. I mean, the floor pans are mostly deleted, but like, watch this. Crazy. Driver's door is not latching as much as it's supposed to, but it does shut. It shuts, it doesn't latch, but we'll get there. Dash is sort of complete-ish. We're gonna ignore this and the fact that this has been deleted. But as you can see, the interior is absolutely terrible. Luckily, it doesn't stink. The seat, it needs some work, but it'll be fine. So like I said, okay, so on Wednesday, I'm gonna be out here in this engine bay. So my goal here was to basically just kind of spray the whole truck down and then spray some degreaser on the engine in the engine bay, and then just give it kind of a quick wash, so I'm crawling around in a little bit less of this situation. So what I think I'm gonna do is grab the put a bag over the carburetor, grab the leaf blower, leaf blow it out, and then we'll spray it with some degreaser and then kind of rinse it off a little bit, just so it's not quite as funky. So on Wednesday it's not as funky. All right, let's get the leaf blower. Oops. Gotta plug her back in, you know? I've got this pretty neat little turbo jet. It's kind of like a low pressure, it just uses like a regular line. It's not really a pressure washer, but it kind of does sort of pressure washer kind of sort of things ish, which I think will be good for this because I'm not really trying to go crazy or anything. This is gonna have like 2 days to dry, and it's like 115 degrees in Evansville right now. So I'm gonna wet it down, and then wet it down a little bit, spray it with some degreaser, wet it down again, and then leaf blower it again. So that's what we're doing. Alright, so I got some mean green degreaser here. I'm just spraying down the engine bay. And then it's gonna have 2 days to dry. Trying to think of what else to talk about right now. So like I said, it did run, or it ran at least 2 years ago. It turns over. They've already bypassed the gas tank and had this little temporary gas tank rig set up. I don't know if there's gas in that. Well, and there's gas in the fuel filter. It looks pretty yellow or orangey for being, I don't know. So this was for sale for a while, so he may have been trying to get it to crank or turn over. I didn't ask too many questions because the thing was so cheap. I didn't really care. The fact that the motor turned freely was enough for me. But we'll get more into all of that on Wednesday. I just want to get this engine bay cleaned up so it has plenty of time to dry. So I gave that a pretty good soaking. We'll spray it off now. Mean green degreaser here. I'm just spraying down the engine bay. And then it's gonna have 2 days to dry. Trying to think of what else to talk about right now. So like I said, it did run, or it ran at least 2 years ago. It turns over. They've already bypassed the gas tank and had this little temporary gas tank rig set up. I don't know if there's gas in that. Well, and there's gas in the fuel filter. It looks pretty yellow or orangey for being, I don't know. So this was for sale for a while, so he may have been trying to get it to crank or turn over. I didn't ask too many questions because the thing was so cheap. I didn't really care. The fact that the motor turned freely was enough for me. But we'll get more into all of that on Wednesday. I just want to get this engine bay cleaned up so it has plenty of time to dry. So I gave that a pretty good soaking. We'll spray it off now. See what little buddy's doing. What are you doing, dude? You're just chilling? Playing with daddy's tools? Or are you working?
I'm just working.
Just working? We're about to spray the car. All right, let's do it, buddy.
Let's work.
All right, buddy. If you don't want to get wet, watch out, okay? Don't hammer on the car, buddy. I'm gonna leaf blow this out, so it's gonna be loud, okay? Okay. I mean, it ain't perfect, obviously. This truck's 65 years old, but it's a lot cleaner. I did get a battery with the deal. It reads good voltage, but I had it on a trickle charger. So the linkage isn't, if I remember how to do it. Yeah, it's not, the carburetor's not stuck. Well, I think this is the clutch. Well, or not the not the clutch, the choke. So the choke isn't hooked up. There's a bunch of stuff I don't know, but we're gonna figure that out on Wednesday. So yeah, I just wanted to get out here and just clean it off so I could it not be quite as dirty. But you know, the distributor's in. All those spark plug cables definitely look like they've been chewed on. It's got a coil, it's got a carburetor, it has a temporary fuel system. I have a boat tank that I can end up running. I'll probably just clean that out and put more gas in it. I don't know if well, the mechanical fuel pump for sure works because there's gas in that filter, so that's good. Yeah, so that's about it for the night. We'll be on it on Wednesday to see if we can get this thing to run. Hey, hey bud, you want to say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Say, can you say, see you Wednesday?
See you Wednesday.
All right, buddy, you ready to clean this truck off, our car?
Yeah.
Okay, here, let me help you. Here, point it at the car, okay? Hold on to it. Hold on to it with both hands. All right, try to clean the car off, okay? Point it at the car. Yeah, you see all that dirt you're getting off there?
Yeah.
Try to get all that dirt off there, buddy. You're doing a great job. Me and little dude decided to kind of just sort of give it a rinse, you know? That didn't really do a whole lot, but I mean, you can kind of see what it would look like, kind of shined up a little bit. So, all right, well, see you guys on Wednesday. Oh, hey, good morning. So we're gonna see if we can get this thing to run. So first step, I gotta open it with one hand. I don't know. I'm gonna delete this because I don't know. Like I said, supposedly this thing was running. They moved it, I guess. They towed it home, and then they kind of, I guess it sat in the guy's driveway for a while, and then they moved it like across the street, sort of, kind of. So I don't know. There is liquid in this, and it probably has water in it from when I pressure washed it. But I bought some ethanol-free gas the other day, so we've got that. And then I guess we'll take the easy route, and we'll just check spark, take this off, check spark, and then just kind of see what happens, I guess. If we're not getting spark, we'll check the coil, we'll check the points. These spark plug wires, looks like a critter got to them, but it's got like a couple new-ish ones, sort of, kind of. And then we'll start seeing, I don't think this is technically like an alternator, I guess. I think it's more of like a generator. The belt seems like it'll be fine for now, I guess. And then there's a bunch of stuff on this rig that I don't know anything about, because it's older than anything I've ever worked on. I mean, it's only older than... I had a 66 C10, so I guess it's sort of close, kind of. But this is the first Mopar. I think it's a the little bit of research that I've done, I think it's a 318. So I hope it is. There's some numbers down here that I will put through the AI machine, and we'll see if that's real. But anyway, all right, so we'll get rid of this, and then yeah, we'll start doing things. So I'm gonna dump whatever this is out into my oil tray. It smells kind of like gas. I don't know how old it is, so I don't want to run it through this carburetor. Yeah, it smells like gas. So I'm gonna dump whatever this is out into my oil tray. It smells kind of like gas. I don't know how old it is, so I don't want to run it through this carburetor. Yeah, if I would have taken this out before I pressure washed it, we might have been okay. I'll go ahead and fill this back up with gas after we try to spin on it. Luckily, the guy gave me this battery, so I mean, we're winning, right? So, positive. These don't seem like the worst, but they dang don't near seem to be the best. Dang don't near. All right, I'm gonna make a little timing chart so we can, just so we're not chasing our tail. We can do that. We're gonna verify at least basic ignition timing, and then I don't know enough about this yet to look at if there's a timing mark on the balancer or anything. I might get on the Google a little bit more so we can at least verify top dead center and kind of make sure that our time, you know, our ignition timing is good enough so we don't throw gas down the carburetor and then it starts but it's running stupid and then we just have to do it anyway. So I think you might learn something from this. I might learn something from this. I've done this before, but it's been a while. So I'm gonna make a little chart, kind of verify that, try to figure out how to find top dead center. If nothing else, I can just stick my finger in number 1 and give it the old burp, 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 and make sure that the rotor is pointing at 1 when we get there. I'm gonna make this chart first though. I don't see a mark. It's got a tab, but I don't see a mark, and I can turn it by hand, but it's just hard. There's nothing to grip onto. So before I start cranking on it, I'm gonna remove this, and then hopefully, it looks like I'm gonna need a new fuel filter, but also I'm gonna be using clean gas, so not that worried about that. But I'm gonna disconnect this so when we do start cranking on it, it's not shooting whatever's in here into the carburetor. Carburetor. It's on there. Come on. Come on, this has been on here for a while. There we go. All right. So there's that. So let me pull spark plug 1, pull the coil off for now. We'll pull spark plug 1, get it to top dead center, verify timing, and then we'll check for spark. That sounds like the plan. And then if we need to mess with the points, or you know, the coil's bad or whatever, we'll get there when we get there. I am not totally sure if I have the correct spark plug getter outer. This one, unless that spark plug is just loose. Oh yeah. No torque on this spark plug, literally at all. So that's maybe why homeboy didn't get it to run. That's very black. I'm trying to not order anything. All right, so this one's too small. I don't know if I have the right spark plug getters. Let me go look back in the garage to see if I have the right spark plug getters. Okay, I do have a spark plug getter. So let's find top dead center. So I'm gonna hook up my and then we'll do that. So these real old rigs have a solenoid right here that basically just goes from the battery to the starter. So in theory, to jump the ignition, which the ignition does work, but this way I can be out here while I do this. In theory, I should be able to just clip my old do-it-yourself button off the positive, and then I could clip it down there, but I could also just clip it right here. So this cable is looking a little not very good, and then basically all of the wiring on the whole car, which I have no idea how poorly it is just running here. There's no fuse box on this rig. So it's basically like exciting everything from right here. And I guess this is like a voltage regulator. Maybe, I think, if I'm wrong, that's because I don't know what I'm doing. It's because this is called Figure It Out Garage, but we'll figure that out. So I have the keys, so that should send power, turn it, activate it, so when I turn the key to, you know, on, not try to crank it, but then I should be able to so we will see if this works. Another thing that I don't know if any of the lights or the horn or anything on this rig does anything. So this is also, okay, there's my choke. Oh, oil pressure lights lit up. The amp thing lit up. Do we have... All these buttons are probably broken. Do we have headlights? Defroster. Let me just... let me just see if my starter button works. Let's turn this off, hook up the starter button. There we go. Okay. Hook this up, turn it back to the on position, and then just do it from out here. My coil is unhooked because I'm just gonna try to stick my finger in there and find the compression stroke. So, here we go. Here goes nothing. Great. That doesn't fit. There we go. Okay. So then, just hook this up to my negative, or, you know, it has a, your circuit is complete light, so that's cool. So let me turn the key back to on. Well, we got spark coming out of that coil, I'll tell you what. Alright, I don't want that to happen anymore. I think it actually, I think I may have seen or heard spark coming off the block, so the coil's hot, the coil works. It was cranking super slow though, and this battery has plenty of juice. So I don't know, obviously I don't know, I mean the starter could be tired. I don't know, we'll keep going, see what happens. So I need to put my finger in this hole and try to find top dead center. Man, getting your finger in this hole kind of sucks. Man, can I even get my finger in the hole? I might need to shove like a napkin or something up in there. See if it, when it pushes it out. It's kind of in there-ish. Let's try it again. Okay. Something happened, but it could have been on the exhaust. Let's see if there's a mark of any sort down here. Ugh. I don't see one. But I also don't know if there is supposed to be one. Let me turn this off camera, see if, okay, I think I see one. Yeah, somebody's put yellow paint marker on it. Okay. Alright, we're close-ish. So, this is not the most scientific way to do this, but I'm just going to see if I can feel the top of the piston. Yes. Alright, so now in theory, when I pull the distributor, it should be pointing at this plug. Yes. So let's see what happens here. Distributor cap. Sorry, I'm not pulling the whole distributor. Yes. Or it's, you know, close enough. So now we'll make sure all the spark plug wires are correct. And then I guess we'll just hook the coil back up and dump some gas in it and see if it starts. All right, let's reclip these. Come on. Okay, so here we got number one. Well, I guess I gotta put the spark plug back in. Probably gonna go ahead, since I got it out, I'm probably gonna go ahead and clean this off real quick. Since I had it out, I might as well make sure the gap is good. Stock gap is 0.035. So I know this is not a proper spark plug gap tool, but that's okay. It'll work. 0.025, 0.018, 0.02, okay, 0.022 and 0.013 is 0.35. So we're gonna check this one gap and then assume that all of the other ones are the same, even though they're probably not, but we'll see what happens. Hey, that's dead nuts. Tight. If I end up needing to, I'll pull all of them and, you know, re-gap them, clean them, wire wheel them, whatever. So stick this one back in and then check the firing order. The angle that these go in is really annoying. Just threading in real good. So I'm just gonna get it finger tight. And then I guess with as loose as that one was, I guess it'd probably be a good idea to make sure that they're not just sitting. But I also don't want to break any of these spark plug wires. So this extension's probably too long. I guess another thing we could do is check the oil. Well, I know it has oil in it because I checked it when I bought it, but it looked pretty bad. All right, that's tight enough. Pop that back on. And then we're gonna verify. Well, let me go ahead and just check a couple plugs and see if they're loose. All right, so we're gonna check the firing order. So we know one is correct, and we know that we verified top dead center, sort of ish. So there is a yellow tab on the, or yellow, someone made a yellow mark on the harmonic balancer at some point, but it does seem to be correct. That piston was at the top of the cylinder. Doing that, when I tried to stick my fingers in there, it did push my fingers out, so I at least know that cylinder 1 has compression, because you need air, spark, compression, and fuel to make a vehicle run. I don't know how good the compression is. Some of these cylinders could be dead. Who knows why this thing originally got parked. I don't know if this is the original motor, etc., etc., but I'm gonna check ignition timing and then pour some gas into the carburetor and see what happens, I guess. So 1.8, so 8 is up here, 8, okay, 1.8, and then we got 4, which is here, 4, 3, which should be here, and then 7 and 2, 7 is back here, and then 2 is over here. Okay, yes, you probably couldn't really see that good, but here's my chart. So this is the distributor, these are the cylinders, and then this is the order, but it goes this way. I made a little arrow. 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. All right, so we got this disconnected. I saw some fuel squirt out of it, so I guess the mechanical fuel pump works. Oh, I got a free 8mm socket, so that's cool. Okay, this is the only water bottle I found in the house, and it's never been opened, so I'm gonna chug it. I can't chug it. Pour it into my water bottle. All right, that ought to be enough to get us where we're going. I think another thing I might do, it's supposed to be in neutral, but it's got that push button transmission. And I don't know if those push buttons work really. I mean, they kind of do, because we were able to get it in neutral to get it up on the trailer. I do have it blocked in the back, but I think I'm going to put some blocks under the front tires just in case, for safety. Got my gas tank here. I'm going to put a little hole stabby in the top. That ought to ride. I mean, I think we're good. So let's just give it a shot, I guess. And then I'm assuming this is the accelerator pump. That doesn't move at all. It looks like the linkage works. All right, whatever. Let's just try it. Well, that was really friggin' easy. It's leaking out of the bottom. Okay. Well, I need to figure out how this choke linkage works, because that could be part of our problem. It looks like it does. Oh, there we go. Almost. Does that have some kind of a pin in it or something? Everything works. This accelerator pump is, I don't really get, seems like it should push it down or something. I'm gonna have to go through this carburetor. It moves if I move it with my fingers. I don't know if I'll be able to see it from inside the cab or not. I should probably just open this window, maybe. Let's see. No, that sucks. So, this is the choke mover thingy, and it's not doing anything. So that, I might have to, I'll have to figure that out. So it looks like it's, yeah, I'll have to figure out how that works. That's not probably going to be that fun. How in the hell does it get? It almost has, I'll have to take this apart, but I don't even see where, like, where this go. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does this go? How does it do that? So I guess we'll just try to get it like medium choke. And I'm gonna try this a couple more times, and then I think I'm just gonna shove some more fuel in that temporary gas tank that they made. Maybe I'll try to push on the accelerator pump this time. See how that linkage doesn't do anything, really? The accelerator pump is stuck. But it seems weird. I guess, yeah, I would push it down. It goes up and down if I use my fingies. I might have to put a battery booster on this battery. This is also getting hot. I don't love that. Yeah. Ow. All right. I think I'm gonna throw some new battery cables on this thing. I think I've got one that I can replace this one with, and then maybe at least, like, let me see if I have a couple more battery cables, because I don't like how hot the switch is getting. All right, I've got a collection of spare parts here. So this one needs a new getter. I need to clean that one up. And then this one, this was the old, this went to the starter on the Courier. So I'm gonna use this one as the ground, just so I don't have to do as much work. This positive end is missing these. And then, yeah. So let me cut these wires up, make a new positive, hook up this new ground, clean the contacts, and then we'll try some more. Maybe that'll get it to crank faster too. All right, I cleaned this Darth Vader cable with a wire wheel, because it was, I cut it back like 4 inches and it was still pretty crusty. But this is a heavier gauge wire. The connections are way better. So I'm gonna put this one together, and then we're gonna try this again with better conductivity. Disconnect the positive, probably 1/2 inch. Yep. Nope. It's something. It's a stripped 1/2 inch is what it is. Right? It'll... Alright. So, this is not in great shape. So we're definitely going to be doing it some favors here. We'll disconnect this end for now, and then I'm going to wait until I have the negative put together before I put it back on the battery. Probably 3/8 or something. 5/8 maybe is what I meant to say. Let's see. Make sure my key's still on. Yep. Go ahead and... Oops, that was a lot. I didn't mean to do that. That's okay. All right. Getting smoke off of the basically everything is melting, so that's cool. Why is that happening? Oh my god, these are crazy hot. It made it worse. What's the deal with that? I'm gonna try to bypass. Let me check this battery. And why does it make these cables hot? Does anybody know? What's the deal with that? Is it like an amperage thing? I'm gonna do some Googling and try to figure out why it's cranking so much slower from my remote starter. It's probably really obvious to some of you guys. I don't know though. So let me do some Googling and try to figure this out. Okay, so for whatever reason, I am not able to use my remote start switch. I don't know if it's sending, it must be sending too many amps through the wires, and she just can't handle it. Hey, there's actually coolant in this. That's cool. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that temporary fuel system back up, the O'Reilly's jug. And then we're just going to stand out here and try to fiddle with this carburetor and see if we can get it to idle. You want to just do that? Let's just do that. So this isn't going to do a whole lot, but it's not going to hurt. Okay. Custom gas tank. Engage. Okay, let's just see what happens. I really wish I could use my burp. All right. Bring it on. I don't love the way that sounded. Let's just try it again. Something bad happened? Doesn't look like anything bad happened. Sounded kind of bad though. me try to prime the carburetor, or, you know. See what happens now. Let's try it again. Let's try a little bit more choke, maybe. Maybe push on the accelerator pump that's completely stuck, that doesn't do anything. All right. I think the fuel pump is working. I might have to disconnect the fuel pump again here in a minute and see if it's actually shooting fuel or not. But the bowl should be full now. Got him. Okay, all right, go ahead and do it.
How long do I need to, like,
that was
hold
perfect. Let me fill the carburetor back up.
What is that?
Gas.
Oh. Why is it so clear?
Because it's that ethanol free. It's that fresh boy. All right, try it again. Try it again. Try it now. Okay. I'm gonna have to take the carburetor apart. All right, we gotta see if this fuel pump is actually fuel pumping. So, let's do that. And then I guess I'm gonna have to pull this carburetor apart, but I don't have a rebuild kit. So, all right, let's see if this this is squirting. I'm gonna put it on this cardboard so we can see. All right, should squirt right onto the cardboard. Got the battery booster on it. I think that battery is not a good battery. Yeah. Well, we might need a new battery. We might need a new starter. Let me check the voltage on this battery, I guess. Let's see. And we still got 12.6 volts. So, I don't know if I fried my starter switch, but it doesn't do anything anymore, so that's great. All right, so fuel pump doesn't work. This fuel pump's pretty easy to get to, but I think I might just go get an electric fuel pump before I start digging into the carburetor. That seems like a better idea, because also maybe this fuel pump has kind of always been the problem, or, you know, like they bought this rig and then he put a new fuel pump on it thinking that the fuel pump was the problem, but then it sat for 2 years and now the diaphragm and the fuel pump is dead and the fuel pump doesn't work. So I think doing electric fuel pump, number one. So far, aside from the price of the car, I have only spent $40. So that's kind of my goal. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to O'Reilly's and I'm gonna buy a fuel pump. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I ran into town. Well, I live in town, but I ran down a way, and I grabbed a fuel filter and one of those Edelbrock too expensive fuel pumps. So I figured before I use $60, instead of just throwing parts at this thing, why don't we see if this fuel filter is clogged and throw in this cheap little fuel filter here that I love. Doesn't have any, that doesn't have the flow. Oh, in, and so in, okay, it says in. So this side is in, this side is out. So before we move into putting a fuel pump on this thing, let's see if the fuel filter is clogged first. All right, I got my squirt pad here. Let's see if she shoots fuel. And then if this doesn't work, we'll put the Edelbrock fuel pump in. Wow. Great. Get the battery booster back on the battery. That was a really good crank. Did you guys hear that? All right. We're getting a jump. See if this helps. If she don't squirt from that, she ain't squirting. Nope. So I think that's tried the old suck test. All right, so I got fuel all the way up to here. Let's try that one more time. I primed it with the old mouth. Hold on. Now I'm not gonna be able to tell if it squirted or not. So let me flip over my squirt pad. And then maybe, just for good measure, since we're already burning the starter up anyway, okay, maybe now that I primed it, maybe she'll run. Is this the fuel return, I assume? All right, let's try this. Now that we've built fuel pressure, it'd be cool if I don't have to use that electric fuel pump. hot dog. We just weren't getting any fuel. Crap. Now I just gotta figure out this carburetor. The engine sounds absolutely terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and shut her off. We're gonna spray all of this linkage stuff with some lubricant. And then I think I'm gonna change the oil and hope that that just magically fixes the terrible sounds that this thing's making. So I guess I'm gonna run back to O'Reilly's. Hopefully they have a fuel filter or an oil filter. And then wow, yeah. Great. I might need to pull the valve covers. This engine might just be beyond repair, but maybe not. All right, we're back from the O'Reilly's. Oil change. Berryman. Let's do it. Hopefully I can get under this thing without having to jack it up, because I don't want to jack it up in the gravel because I don't want to die. Oil plug location. Execute. Oil pan. Oil drain plug location. Well, here's my oil pan. Where's my drain plug? Ah! I hope that's not supposed to be the drain plug. All right, so that thing that didn't look like a drain plug, it was the drain plug. It was a 1-inch kind of stripped bolt that I think I got loosened up now enough that I can get it out with my little fingies. We're not really going to be able to see the oil very good. It's dark and it smells like oil. This seems odd. Look how flat that is. But okay, we got that out. We'll let that drain, do the oil filter. No water came out, so that's good. It's just black oil. I don't know if there's any sludge. We'll look at the pan. There's some sludge on the back of my hand, but I don't know if that's just dirt. I think that's just dirt from doing dirt things. All right, we're just out here figuring it out. I didn't film all of that, but it's got a bolt that goes through it. I did some reading because the filter, so it's like a cartridge style thing, kind of like more modern vehicles, like the Toyotas. The Toyotas that I have. But I think that the filter that I have is it eliminates the filter, the cartridge portion. So I just gotta get, I think you can see it, I just gotta get it the rest of the way out, and we'll smack the new one in and we'll be good to go. All right, we got it out and it's draining. It actually, the way that it fell is pretty good. It's draining right into the thing. So now I don't know if this is gonna work or not. No, because this is like internally threaded. I'll have to go back to the auto parts store. Let's see. I'm just adding some more rust protection here. Great. All right, well, we've hit a snag. Nobody has these in stock. So I think I'm just gonna spray out this housing with some brake clean, and then just brake clean the oil filter. It's not the best idea, but it's not the worst either. All right, I cleaned that up best I could. I'm gonna fill this up with some Marvel. Not all the way, but part of the way. And then fill the rest up with oil. Probably put too much in there, but that's okay. All right, now the fun part is gonna be getting this back in here. All right, I got that filter back on, that brand spanking new filter. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this thing up with oil. I got some more of this zinc additive. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, add this to the oil, shake the oil up, and then pour it in. So let me get my funnel. All right, putting the oil in. Supposed to take 5 quarts. So we'll between the Marvel and the zinc additive, I might not do all 5 coming straight out the jug. All right, I got the oil topped off. I'm gonna get under there and make sure that I got that drain plug all the way in, and I won't be surprised if we end up getting a leak off of that oil filter gasket, but we'll just have to see what happens. We got to figure it out. I guess I'm gonna try to crank it, and then we'll check the oil. Well, I guess we should probably check the oil. I mean, obviously I poured oil in it, but mazel. Well, the oil went into the crankcase, so says we're full. Well, I mean, we're not at operating temperature, so all right, let's try to crank this thing and see if it still turns over. Well, that oil filter was not on there correctly. Great. All right, time to see how much oil we lost. I got some extra, so we'll be all right. I think I got it back on correctly, but we'll have to see. I'll also have to figure out how to clean that up. Yeah, we actually lost a lot, it looks like. Yeah, I got it filled back up, and then I've got a drain pan under here. Well, let's see if it leaks again. This time I'm gonna crank it and then immediately run over there and see if it's leaking, and then I'll shut it off. Gotta put the battery back up on it. All right, take two. All right, I got that oil filter on correctly, so we're gonna shove some Berryman in its throat and see if that helps anything sound a little bit better. Give it another check before I start doing this. Yep, we're good. Got plenty of smoke coming out from the old Berryman. I think it sounds, I don't know, it might sound better. I flooded it, so I'm gonna give it a couple minutes to chill. All right, I'm just gonna let it run for a while. There is a lot of smoke, which is sort of to be expected from the Berryman. It doesn't smell like coolant, so I'm not worried about head gasket or anything. I just think it hasn't run for more than like maybe 10 seconds in like 5 years or something. Let me see if this throttle pedal works. Yes, the throttle pedal works. So the brakes don't work, and you obviously can't sit in this. But she runs. All right, guys, I'm just gonna let this thing run. This is gonna be wow. I'm just gonna let this thing run. That's gonna be it for this episode. Next week, we're gonna do brakes, and we're gonna make it so that you can sit in the seat. Maybe if we can get both of those things figured out, we can take it for a drive. Thanks so much for watching. Let's keep figuring it out.